I would say ever since I transferred here and saw the bar scene specifically, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I don't know, I guess like being in like a college environment, I just think like you just end up drinking more than like if you hadn't before.
In college, at least for me, I was very much, it was about me. If I liked it, I was doing it. If I didn't like it, I wasn't doing it. It was what I wanted, when I wanted it.
Drinking culture has become so big, it's almost too big to fail.
So when they talk about it, it's, you know, they're proud. But statistics have shown that kids are not being completely responsible.
My first initial thought is school is not the priority.
I think that the idea of partying in college is okay. I don't know, I mean, these are kids that have worked really hard and they go out and they have some fun. And that's kind of, I want people to enjoy their youth. I think the conversation is, why are you drinking?
It's fantastic to get drunk. Have you ever been drunk before? It's awesome. And over here is our chapter room, our composite room. There's Brother Dags up by the window. This is my composite from my presidency. This is a really cool room. We like it to be clean. We also hang out in here. My name's Noah Hale. I go to Michigan State University, and I am in this frat called Zeta Psi. I used to be the president.
Valerio de Sanchez, president at Zeta Psi.
How did the president get demoted?
Just some personal reasons, some, I don't know, being a dumbass at the party, I guess, being too drunk, and then just, I don't know, he didn't want it. He's having so much fun now being a general member.
Yes, there was an incident. I became the social chair my first semester as an active brother. So we threw a lot of parties because I like to party. And then I wanted to run for president so that I could throw more parties and nobody could tell me no.
I'm Carson Adams. I am in a fraternity. I'm in Zeta Psi. Mr. Noah Hale, our ex-fraternity president, he got way too messed up.
I was hammered, as they say. My BAC was a 0.4, the hospital said. They said it was the highest they've ever seen, and they were shocked I was alive. We had a party called Zeta Palooza during Welcome Week. It was basically 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. was the whole thing. So it was a lot. The bar is normally where the problems happen because people buy me drinks.
Yeah, ended up getting kicked out of that bar, came back to the house.
And then went to the after party.
And he ended up falling down the front porch, like face made contact with every single step and then onto the concrete. And he had just really like deep lacerations around his eyes here, and he needed like staples.
And then I was like out of commission for a while because my face was tattered and beaten up, and I was unable to perform the duties. So my vice president, Valerio, stepped up, and he is now running the chapter. And my, I'll rip my guitar, my closet. Take a look at my, my closet. It's huge. It is humongous. I have another one.
We actually like here, like with the pledges and such, we don't want them getting blacked out. We actually, I wouldn't say punish, but we frown upon getting blacked out.
I mean, people in frats definitely drink a lot. That's the type of like guy, like to party, like to go out, and you go out, you have a couple drinks. But I think that like sorority girls drink a fuck ton too. It's not just frats. It's definitely like a big part about being in a frat is drinking culture and wanting to drink with the boys, because everyone loves to get fucked up with the boys.
In Greek life in general, the culture around drinking is to get drunk. It's not to like enjoy the beer. It's not to like drink in moderation, to just get like a slight buzz. It's almost always just to get drunk.
You fill up the golf club. You hold that. Ready? And I'll take it into like a Ugh.
What? There's people here to interview. Yes, there is. Turn around.
Good morning.
Hello. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, what up?
I think with the bar scene, I think that they also capitalize on getting super drunk with the deals that they have every day. I mean, they really get you to come like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
So how long have you guys been out here?
Since 2 a.m.
2 a.m.?
Yeah. Since the bar closed. Since the bar closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're advertising, but they know who their clientele is.
Yeah.
Did you prepare for this? Were you like, today I am going to be the first in line for Dublin on St. Patrick's Day?
I wish we had dressed warmer.
Yeah, it was maybe not the best decision, but it was one that we all made together.
Yeah.
And we all really want to be here.
We're all happy to be here.
Yep.
How early is it right now?
Too early for me to think, to be honest.
5:30 in the morning. It's time for a glorious day. It's time to ship up to Boston.
Did you
We went out for a good time.
did you go out last night?
Yes.
Did you go to bed?
No.
Alright, hey Ethan, I got just one.
Interesting. It's St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, go Creed.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Oh.
Tailgating for me in general, I think, is a really crazy idea because that, like, having a whole campus shut down and everyone able to just like drink out in the open like that wouldn't happen at home.
Oh, it's so fun. There's so much energy. It's the talk everywhere for a week leading up to the game. There's really nothing else I'd rather do on a fall Saturday. It's social. I get to see a lot of people. Now I get to see my kids. So my daughter's here. I have a son who's a freshman here. All their friends come by.
Compared to like my peers, I've always had a less enthusiastic approach to drinking. I guess you could say dare worked on me, at least when it comes to drinking.
I don't drink alcohol. I mean, I guess I don't really have a relationship with it, honestly. I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I don't judge people who do, but it's just my personal decision not to do it.
I don't have too strong a personal relationship to alcohol. I can't drink very much just because of like the medication I'm on.
I really just never had much of a desire to drink. I've drank a few times. I don't know, I could probably count the amount of times I've been faded like off alcohol on like my one hand.
It wasn't until I started really taking basically what my parents have told me regarding alcohol, because both my parents are doctors.
Put all that work in, you know, working out and making all this food and stuff, like why am I going to go and put poison in my body after that? Just seems a little bit counterintuitive to me.
And it wasn't until I started taking that seriously, along with prepping my body like for my sport, being a student athlete, that I made the decision to finally just all in all stop drinking.
It's weird being like the only sober one in a room full of drunk people because a lot of activities revolve around alcohol in college. So I would drink if I could.
I do think there's a peer pressure. I think that it's thought of as a rite of passage for freshmen, especially.
I've had people, multiple occasions, say back to me something along the lines of like, oh, like I'm on antidepressants and like it just turns my single into a double. So like I think you'll be fine too. And then like I explained that like, oh no, like I could die.
I think if you're surrounded by people who are like, you don't drink, like, and they're like being an ass about it, then maybe you're surrounded by the wrong people.
Honestly, since I've stopped drinking, I've really honestly enjoyed it a bit more, to be quite honest. So for me, it was actually through a Christian ministry on campus called Athletes in Action, and a lot of the individuals in that group actually have the same views on alcohol that I do. Being a Christian, it says in the Bible not to get drunk and to stay sober-minded. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. I think that that can be applied to so many different things in your life. When you're coming to a town that is, I guess, so party driven, you know, it's kind of like, oh, you don't have a fake ID, like what are you doing?
It is a crime to present a liquor establishment with a false ID. And then again, if that false ID or that person makes a claim that that false ID is actually them to the police, that's an additional crime as well.
There's been countless amounts of times that kids have tried to use a fake and then, you know, argue that it was real, and we know it's not, you know, so we tell them, no, sorry, like, we'll call the cops. Like, we have no problem calling the cops.
I think it's really easy. I mean, half the time you can go in and to the bottle shop and you won't get ID'd. You know, sometimes you see like people go up with a fake ID and like people, like the bouncers will like look at it and they'll be like, this is fake, but like you can go in. In Australia it's 18, so whereas here it's 21.
I'm from Central America, I'm from Panama, so I'd say it's very not like what you have here as common here, because like I've been drinking like openly, like my parents have known since I'm like 14.
And like here it's 18 to be an adult, you know?
I just think it's silly that it's at 21, especially when so many people start drinking at college level. It makes it so that people are like unnecessarily breaking the law.
It's tough because I recognize that people are going to get it no matter what. It's almost like a similar thing with weed where like before it was legalized, like people would probably get themselves into more dangerous situations getting it. I'm also not advocating to make like the drinking age any younger. If anything, I mean, drinking can mess up your brain from like a really young age. So like I definitely don't think we need to be any more lenient.
Young minds are still growing, and that can have an effect on the way you think or decisions that we make. Additionally, costs are associated with it, whether it's a financial cost due to a penalty or the cost of emergency health care services.
RISE is a recovery community organization, and we house just over 60 people recovering from alcoholism or addiction. On the heels of somebody going to rehab or jail or prison, they can come to us, and here they work with peer recovery coaches to figure out how to reintegrate into society, how to find jobs, how to kind of get life back on track, learn some of those basic life skills. I've had a lot of students reach out that struggle all the way through 7th, 8th, up to seniors in high school, and then obviously into college. The root problem typically is going to be internal, an internal battle. The after effect is alcoholism.
Most of us, it's because we're hurting, either physically or mentally. And we need something to block that out. So it helps us, with life. And that's okay initially, and it's okay to a degree. But when it becomes a problem, and you, again, can't work, can't maintain your family, that's when people need help.
Even like walking around, like getting catcalled, like on like a Saturday night, if you're walking near like the frats, it happens a lot more when like the guys are drinking. Or I don't know, like I've had experiences where like, straight girls at parties will get super drunk and start like grinding on me in like the dance area, without asking, just like start rubbing up against me.
You get a lot of fights, a lot of people being disrespectful, thinking that they are invincible. They, want to fight everybody who bumps into them, and they want to just cause issues. And
that gets, once they get into the legal system, it becomes a huge problem. The judges around here are very intolerant of that kind of problem now. And if you have a couple DUIs, you may well do 90 days or a year in jail.
People are wanting help, which is really cool. Addiction and alcoholism is starting to be, the stigma attached is starting to look a little different than it did 10 years ago. 10 years ago it was, you're worthless, you're a junkie, you're a drunk. Now we're looking at it more as a disease, you need help.
There's a trend that binge drinking is going up, and a lot of the preventions within the campuses are not being completely addressed. It's either for abstinence or some sort of control.
Everyone's looking for, the problem is alcohol, the problem is drugs. No, the problem's not alcohol, the problem is not drugs. That is a Band-Aid solution.
If your friends are judging you, honestly, for saying like, I don't want to drink, like, are they really your friends? That's the hard truth, but like, are they really your friends if they don't respect your boundaries and genuinely like love who you are?
Right, so as we're getting into these friend circles and getting to know people, we want to care about those people, and if we have friends that we see that are taking a bad path, we know what it looks like. There's not a lot of people who are alcoholics that just get away with it and nobody knows.
You notice that grades start to decline. So, parents, it's good as a parent to try to be enough involved in your child's life, whether it's high school or college, that you know kind of what's happening.
If we start seeing some of these trends, then we're going to want to speak up as a friend. Hey, I noticed that we got kind of out of hand last night. Let's not do that again. And now the next night we're back at it. This is a problem, let's address it, let's bring it head on, let's not beat around a bush. I think accountability throughout friends, accountability throughout family is always going to be a good rule of thumb, and then just knowing yourself.
I don't go out anymore. I go out when I have to go out. Once I started working there, I was exposed to, that lifestyle, and you kind of got to see it through a different lens.
I think like outside of college, I could probably go like months without drinking just because I don't really see the need, and I also don't really want to like spending the money.
What I do know is that the bigger picture is, we all grow out of that college phase. We all grow up, we all have responsibilities, we all have jobs, sports, we end up having kids, we do all these things. Life starts to not be all about me and starts to be about other people and other things.
I will probably drink less because I won't be at college with nothing to do, and I'll have like a job, and like responsibilities of a real person, I think, so I'll drink less. But I'll definitely still, like, come home and crack a beer, you know? Hopefully I find myself a wife, have some little Noahs, and then one day I'm going to share a beer with little Noah, and it's going to be awesome. Noah Jr.